Hello and welcome to the Pro One Wrestling Podcast. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my co-host Albert Zita. Our previous two episodes didn't have a
title.
It was untitled, but we actually settled on Pro One Wrestling, which is something like a backstory we'll get into in future episodes. But I want to talk this week about the impact, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, of TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, especially with the recent win of AJ Styles becoming the new WWE World Champion at Backlash and SmackDown's first ever, or SmackDown Live's first pay-per-view since a brand split. And it kind of brought to my attention that TNA has been the butt of the joke for the internet wrestling community for a few years now, especially since their move to Destination America, then now Pop TV. But they're kind of getting back on the radar with Final Deletion and Decay versus Delete. Matt Hardy and the Hardy Boys have been doing a good job of people, at least, hey, what's this over here? Making a little noise. Hey, we're TNA. The signing of Drew Galloway and then Aaron Rex, formerly Damian Sandow. I think Cody Rhodes now is rumored to return. So they're making strides, getting back to what they once were. But what, a good 6-7 years ago, they weren't on the level of WWE. Not anywhere close, but were they a viable second option to watch for as wrestling fans?
Clearly. But see, just to show you too, like I remember that was probably like the height of TNA when they had all these guys, the AJ Styles, Samoa Joes, Beer Money. Yeah. I really do think that was like the height of TNA, and then right now it's kind of up and down.
Well, I mean, once they brought in Hogan, I think Hogan and Bischoff that era kind of went down. But I remember there were times when we were having TNA viewing parties. Remember? Yeah. No, let's get Bound for Glory. Let's get Lockdown.
Legit pay-per-views will go by.
Yeah, because we're like, no, well, let's hold off on SummerSlam this year, and we'll get TNA instead. But with AJ Styles now the champion, Samoa Joe the former NXT champion, and then Bobby Roode making a huge impact in, no pun intended, in NXT. I mean, how TNA deserves more respect, right?
Yeah, and plus T. Perkins, who was in TNA, just won the
X Division for years.
The only thing this is the only part that really sucks to me is most of these guys are 39.
Yeah,
they're almost going to be 40, and I think it had more to do with WWE rejecting TNA's success. And this is why we got, because they could have easily got these guys at mid-30s
6 years ago.
Yeah, but because I think the WWE really try and prove that TNA don't got stars.
Yeah,
but that's only, other than that though, that shows you that TNA had a recipe that was working before they just gave it to Hogan to destroy.
And great, it's not just we all know AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Yeah. They all bust their butt not only in TNA but Ring of Honor, but they got the most exposure from TNA. You can't doubt that they had a national television deal. Yeah, they may have been darlings in the indie scene, but they were on Spike TV on a weekly basis. TNA gave them that spotlight. Don't say, well, they're kicking butt in ROH before and PWG, but I mean, TNA gave them that spotlight. So I think, it's not really vice versa. The top W stars don't go to TNA. I mean, you get the guys who want to prove something, but I'm pretty sure, given the opportunity, if they make success in TNA, Drew Galloway will go back to WWE, so will Cody Rhodes, so would Aaron Rex. But I mean, with now even like the whole CM Punk thing, there's rumors of him maybe looking back into wrestling, but who knows? Alberto Del Rio's out there. But I just thought it was funny, especially with Eric Young and NXT now too. Like these guys are pushing 40, but they paid their dues for so long in TNA that it's almost like I'm glad. I hope Bobby Roode gets a big push. I'm hoping Samoa Joe gets a big push because these guys deserve it. They've had killer matches for so long. Back when we were seeing Cena versus Edge, when the Miz was main event in WrestleMania, we saw Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, tearing it up in TNA and in the indie scene. So now these guys are finally getting their shot that they deserve. I'm just like, you know what? I'm watching. I still watch TNA now. Delete Decay. I just like, you know what? Yeah, it's kind of weird, the whole Grand Championship thing. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but at least they're doing something different.
Yeah.
And sometimes different is good. And you saw what happens, the whole X Division thing. That was AJ Styles' bread and butter when they first started. He put the X Division on the map, and look at it now. So Samoa Joe, too, the greatest match in TNA history, people argue, is that the three-way dance between Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles for the X Division Championship. So, I mean, I don't know. I just something I want to talk about today was just the whole TNA's impact and how we see it now kind of paying off.
Yeah, but I really wish that TNA would keep that, like developing stars, because it feels like they're leaning towards more like they're clutching on WWE's old success, which I think it's never a good thing to do. Their whole thing was they were able to, see the potential and use that. And the only crazy part is too is just so everybody knows, just to get an aspect of all this, Seth Rollins is only 30. So we're over here talking about AJ and all these guys, whatever. But just to let you know, Seth Rollins is only 30. The guy has nothing but time.
Yeah.
Even T.J. Perkins, who won the Cruiserweight title, who's considered a very young talent, is 32.
Yeah, but they had it for so long, and that's why. There's a good side, I think, to come into WWE late. You can have a good, strong run, like 6 years, and then be memorized, be memorable. Yeah. Or you kind of run into Randy Orton, who's been there since 19, 20, 21.
But now he looks like he's at least 42.
But also, unless you're not evolving yourself, you become kind of stale. Because to me, I respect Randy Orton, but I'm okay, this whole Viper thing, it's kind of stale now. Unless you're reinventing yourself, then you run the risk of being there for too long, I think, almost.
And it's funny too because
Cena too. Cena's been the same thing for 10 years now.
Yeah, it's like Abyss. Abyss was a perfect example of a guy that he recognized that his gimmick can get tired real quick.
Yeah,
and he will be the one to step out that gimmick. You know what? Oh, we got to give Abyss a break, whatever. But he understood that his character can get played out, and he's been TNA for the longest I can remember. I think when I first started watching TNA, Abyss has been there, and I think now he carries the torch, to tell you the truth, because I can't think of another person in that roster that's been there that long.
I think he's the only one.
Yeah, so
not with Eric Young and Bobby Roode gone.
Yeah, but with that said, though, that shows you that sometimes these more loyal to the company guys do need to take breaks.
Yeah. True. So Samoa Joe has awesome success in NXT and WWE, but under the NXT banner. I don't think you invest that much in Bobby Roode's entrance without having big plans for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pushing 40, a true veteran of the sport. Eric Young, he has his own group, Sanity. So do you think those three guys will have success on the main roster, or do you think the likes of AJ Styles, do you think they're NXT?
I just hope they use them well, because
good point.
At one point, I was scared for AJ Styles because it seemed like maybe creative wasn't going to do it the right way, but luckily it all worked out. But we can't say that for everybody. So hopefully it works out in that they get used the right way. But just to show you how the impact that they're having, they just announced their shows over here in the West Coast sold out
seconds.
And I really do think I attribute that to Robbie Roode and Samoa Joe and obviously Nakamura.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying these guys are they have sell potential, and we saw that when AJ Styles entered the Royal Rumble, how the crowd got as far as his entrance.
This guy was in Japan for a year.
Yeah. So they know. I just wish they would use him, and they gotta use him quick. I think Samoa Joe, his NXT time is done. I think he should do this last tour, and he needs to go to the main card. Robbie Roode, same thing. Maybe do a short run in NXT, but you got to hit him. I mean, I think that's the part that frustrates me about Finn Balor. The iron was hot for so long. Yeah. They waited way too long, and now we're hurt, and now we got to wait even longer.
Yeah, for me, when Finn Balor finally debuted on the Raw roster, it was lackluster because there's so much teasing that when it finally happened, he got drafted in Raw.
Yeah.
There you go. He's drafted. And then, where you at, Finn Balor? Come to the front. There's Finn Balor, everybody. That's it.
Yeah.
Even with Bayley, too, there's so much teasing. And then when she finally makes her debut, she comes out to some awkward thing with Mick Foley in the exchange. And
that's the whole thing. And to tell you the truth, that's what sucks about Bayley. I'm like, man, you got gold right there, and yet they're not using like they use her in NXT. And
then why bring her up just to take a backseat to Sasha and Charlotte Banks? That things are kind of played out already, I think. I mean, it's not everybody's fault that they're killing each other in the ring with the moves they do. But I don't know. Also, I want to attest to this rumor, too, that WWE actually recently put a bid in to buy TNA.
Oh, wow.
As right now, I think Billy Corgan is in the works of trying to buy a majority stake in it. So, I mean...
And this is no dig at Billy Corgan. I know the Smashing Pumpkins was pretty big, but
the guy too,
I don't know he has that much of money to invest in.
Yeah.
So TNA can't cost that much, and for WWE, it could be just a drop in the bucket to expand that WWE Network's library.
If anything, just for library purposes, right? Because their champion now, all of his greatest history is in TNA. Their former NXT champion. It's all.
Let's end it with this, just to let you know, because the other day too, you know what Bobby Roode imagine him as the Intercontinental Champion. I think he would put so much value into that belt.
Yes, Miz fans. I'm so sick of people saying the Miz is the top heel. Right? Oh,
get out of here. You guys are garbage. If you ever said Miz is a good heel, you're garbage. And that's probably my brother Guillermo. He said that.
Miz is the top heel in an era where there are no more heels. So what does that say about the Miz right now? So we'll see. Interesting to see if this rumor about the UFC, WWE putting a bid in UFC to buy in TNA, see if it goes anywhere.
Imagine but if not, UFC by TNA.
But if not, Billy Corgan all in sees he's doing something different. So might as well.
More power to him.
Different alternative between the WWE. So that's it for this week. Stick around for another episodes. See if we're dropping them in the future. Should be fun. So Pro One Wrestling.